Here's a quick snippet of an induction I did during a recent private house birthday party hypnosis show. To completely let go. And when I say completely let go, I just mean let go of any tension, for example, in your forehead. Any tension maybe in your jaw. Just relax your jaw. Sometimes we clench our jaw, just relax the jaw. If that separates your teeth or that separates your lips ever so slightly, that's perfectly natural. Whatever is natural for you, just allow your face, jaw, space even between your eyebrows, allow your entire head to just relax. And here's the outcome of the volunteers I had left over. Slow deep breath in, lift yourselves up, and 3, eyes open, wide awake. Hey, are you okay? Now, while I obviously don't have nearly as many volunteers as I did at the very beginning of the show when I started the induction, it's very clear by the audience reactions, as you can hear and tell, that they were still enjoying watching their peers go through what they were going through while under hypnosis. And I want to call out this specific clip from this specific show because this was one of the very first times that my entertainment channel ever received a comment like this, which initially I had the innate response of the experience I'm providing them should outweigh the numbers that I kept, which apparently in their mind wasn't enough. And even when a friend of mine chimed in, who has trained under me and knows and understands my style and approach and has actually worked with me on productions and sees how I conduct before, during, and after my shows, the individual then responded with a very long paragraph, basically stating, in essence, from an egotistical standpoint, that if absolutely necessary, I should have at least had people fake their experience. And I think that is the worst image that a hypnotist can give themselves, or the worst thing that a hypnotist can ask someone to do. Now, mind you, I did that back in the day for one show only. However, since then, I vowed to never do that again and came up with the approach that I used in the beginning of the show. So that way I could end up with the best, truly most hypnotized and most somnambulistic volunteers, which I did end up getting. And I'm up for constructive criticism, but I'm not up for buying into the idea that I should be BSing my paying clients. But what really hit me was that this type of comment has been on the back burner of my mind for years because the process I use naturally eliminates a lot of people who want to volunteer for shows but aren't genuinely hypnotized, aren't genuinely trying to get hypnotized, and helps me find the true somnambulists from each show. Yet, this was the only video of the hundreds and hundreds I've had on my channel where this type of comment got posted, because deep down, I felt similar. I felt that some shows were pretty slack. But to say that something is slack, and to say that a good remedy for said slack would be to, if absolutely necessary, fake it or bribe people and tell them to do something that in some way, shape, or form makes you as the hypnotist look and feel better to the audience, especially your YouTube audience that's watching your free content that didn't even pay for the experience, is just a terrible idea. And I think that literally plays into ego. And you should never be performing or charging based on ego. You should charge based on either hour or the value you're providing the client, and you should definitely perform with the intention of providing the best overall and safest quality experience and best overall experience for your client and their volunteers. But you should never be doing things just to feed your own ego as a performer. There are enough of those, especially in the entertainment industry. You don't need to be one of them. And I don't think that's a good sign of a professional hypnotist. In fact, if you look back on my entertainment channel through the years of shows I've done, I've utilized a very similar approach in terms of the induction and execution for finding my best volunteers. And I've gone from a lot of volunteers to naturally the most somnambulistic and responsive volunteers. And that's what I want, and that's what you should want. You should want to provide the best experience, and with the most somnambulistic people being in your production, you will also produce the best laughs and the best experiences for the audience who is just watching and admiring their peers experiencing your hypnosis show. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, no matter what social media you post your stuff on, the bigger you grow and the more popular you get, you're just simply not going to please all viewers. Seems like everyone's a critic. But what should ultimately matter to you is what your paying client feels and what your paying client thinks. And this was the official raving testimonial from that birthday party client. And even days after the show, she was still telling me how people were raving about it, talking about it, and wanting more, and how they're already looking to rebook me. So even if you get a comment like this, don't let it get you down, because as long as your client and their guests are happy, you should be happy, because it's their opinions that are actually paying your bills. Not to mention that if anyone were to actually join my Ko-fi on my entertainment channel, then they would actually get to see the post-show demos I did, and the conversations I had, and the positive experiences I provided people who were either too shy or too timid to even volunteer to begin with. So while we may not have had a ton of volunteers for the show, we had plenty of volunteers to talk with us and provide additional positive experiences to post-show. So just remember, the comment sections can provide good constructive criticism, and I'm all about that, but don't let negative comments putting you down get you down, because at the end of the day, the ultimate thoughts and opinions that matters are from those who are paying your bills.